I was watching a video on Crash Bandicoot and I totally forgot there was a game, kind of like an in-between spinoff game between like the main trilogy that came out, I believe, right after Crash Team Racing. It was called Crash Bash. It was like a Mario Party style Crash Bandicoot game. And I just happened to stumble upon some gameplay for it and I was like, bro, it was so deep in the back of my mind, it's crazy. Crash Bandicoot is like my favorite. Like that and Ape Escape were the first games that I got on PlayStation. So those two games, you know what I'm saying? But Crash Bash was a spinoff game like Mario Party where you would pick a character and then if you had friends, you know, that lived with you or whatever, you'd get like a multi-tap. What the multi-tap was like this boomerang thing that had ports in it where you could connect 4 extra controllers. So you'd have 1 on the PlayStation and 4, so it'd be like, I guess 5 players. But you would pick your character and there were these games that you could play, just like Mario Party, but they, you know, were Crash Bandicoot specific games. And you basically would just try to beat out everybody else to win the match. And it was kind of set up like the Crash Bandicoot games where it was like the hub world. I'm just going to use Crash Bandicoot 3 for example because that was the first one I played. But there's like a hub world that had these bridges to like different places and you would pick like the level. So this one was kind of set up the same way where it was like there was one game that was it's called I think it's called Pogo a Go-Go, and you had to hop on the spots to get them to be your color, and how many spots you had basically at the end of the game was like that's how you won. And then they had like the power-ups like the TNT boxes, the nitro boxes, the missiles were all, you know, set up for you to fail basically. And then there was another one where you were on top of a polar bear, like all 4 of you were on top of a polar bear and you had to basically like hit each other off the block of ice. At least that's what I remember from the demo. I never actually bought that game. I was too obsessed with Crash Team Racing. That's like my favorite kart racer of all time. But it just reminds me of the days where we were able to just congregate around the system and enjoy each other's company. And I hate sounding like that because I sound like an old biddy, but like it's true. I don't really hear about people going to like their friends' houses and playing games and just enjoying the moment. Everybody plays online, including me, and we all are kind of in our own little sectors, and it works for what it is, but like, it's not what it used to be. But do you remember Crash Bash? And if you found it, would you play it now? Let me know down in the comments below.